Hello. Am I nervous about this video? I am a bit, because I don't want to fuck it up. Try not to swear as well. I want to do this video despite how awkward it's going to be, because I can't talk seriously, and it should be serious because it's serious, but it's not too serious. And anyway, hello, my name's Maddie and I've got borderline personality disorder. It might come as a surprise to some. I think it won't, no. Yeah, so BPD, borderline personality disorder. Cool, got that out of the way, that took long enough. It's also known as emotionally unstable personality disorder, or a new one I've heard of since being at my group is emotional intensity disorder. I prefer BPD, others prefer the other two, or there might even be more, I don't really know. Choose your pick, all the same thing, cool. So, where should I begin? I don't know how much in depth I want to go into this, because I'm going to do like a lot of stuff on this, because it's all I've known for the last however many years of my life. It's been consumed. I guess I should start with what it actually is. The names are a bit vague, nondescript. So I'm going to read this part because I don't want to get anything wrong and I don't want to miss anything. This piece of information is found in the DSM, I think it's called. It is, I've forgotten what it stands for. It's basically a dictionary for all mental illnesses. You're going to have to bear with me because this is a bit smart and scientific sounding. So BPD is a pervasive pattern of instability in interpersonal relationships, self-image and emotion, as well as marked impulsivity beginning by early adulthood and present in a variety of contexts as indicated by 5 or more of the following. So yeah, 5 or more of what I'm about to read. So 1. Frantic efforts to avoid real or imagined abandonment. 2. A pattern of unstable and intense interpersonal relationships characterised by extremes between idealisation and devaluation. 3. Identity disturbance, markedly or persistently unstable self-image or sense of self. 4. Impulsive behaviour in at least 2 areas that are potentially self-damaging, e.g. spending, sex, substance abuse, reckless driving, binge eating. 5. Reoccurrent suicidal behaviour, gestures or threats, or self-harming behaviour. 6. Emotional instability in reaction to day-to-day events, e.g. intense episodic sadness, irritability or anxiety, usually lasting a few hours and only rarely more than a few days. 7. Chronic feelings of emptiness. 8. Inappropriate intense anger or difficulty controlling anger, e.g. frequent displays of temper, constant anger, recurrent physical fights. And 9. Transient stress-related paranoid ideation or severe dissociative symptoms. Sweet as a nut, right. So, I can say with confidence I've experienced all of them. Now, disclaimer, I don't know. I feel like all of those points, probably most people can relate to those. Because that's the thing with BPD. It's very hard to diagnose because it's fueled by emotions, you know, and everyone experiences emotions, but it is a whirlwind. But it seems like it's very easy to relate because those things seem very everyday and normal. But it's the stuff that comes with it, the severity of it, that makes it basically impossible to live a normal life until it's contained and controlled and you've learned, as I am learning, to live with it. It can get really out of control. I'm very conscious not to sugarcoat this because of where I am at now describing it. Obviously, if I were to have filmed this video a year ago, my opinion on it and view and outlook on it as a whole would be completely different because of where I am at in my own understanding of it, if that makes sense. I want people to understand the severity of it and where you can come out of, like, once you're back on track kind of thing, or getting back on track. I mean, if anyone has seen my past videos from last year, you probably know the severity of it, and that wasn't even the severity of it. The year before that was even worse. That was a great year. Hospital admission. And everyone who suffers with this, or perhaps works with people with this, will have a different opinion on it. I think the thing I have learned also since being in a group. We're in a group of people that all have the same thing, but our interpretations of it and difficulties differ depending on who you are. That's a bit of a no-brainer. I feel like with BPD, it's so unique to a person, because whatever I'm going to discuss after about something called filters, your filters really do depend on whatever you've gone through in life. Let's just simplify this real quick, right? People with BPD have the same emotions as everyone else, but they are way, way more intense. Don't underestimate that at all. These reactions that we have to anything, it could be anything tiny or massive, there ain't no grey area between this is a scale and there's been this problem that's happened and I should mark where I should react to this depending on no, it's boom or boom. That's it, right? Okay, there ain't no thinking about this shit. It just react, event, react. No thinking time. The good old saying, make a mountain out of a molehill. That's a great saying. Make a mountain out of a molehill. Yeah, it's kind of that, right? Yeah, and I don't like to put it that way, because it's kind of like you could just say, get over yourself to me. Just get over yourself. Fuck, why be like that? And it's like, I'm like, I don't understand, because I thought that's how we all react, and this is right, I should be reacting this way. Why are you questioning it? And then that causes a big blow up and stuff. Relationships and people with BPD, as far as I'm aware, everyone who I've met with it, and including myself, we struggle like hell with relationships. That's not boyfriend, girlfriend kind of thing. It's all of them. It's your relationship with your dog. It's the relationship with your mum and dad. Relationship with siblings, friends. It's a relationship with Margaret working at Co-op down the road. She might look at me in the wrong way when I'm going to get my backy, and that's it. She's getting a swing. I'm joking. I'm chatting and rambling. My brain's over there. I've already said this part 5 minutes ago in my head. Right. If someone goes to argue our overreaction, that's just going to cause, in the height of anger or whatever is at the height of that emotion, and you question it kind of thing, that's just pouring petrol on a bloody fire, I'm not gonna lie. It's just gonna cause another I struggle with relationships with people. It's because it's just if you're not on my page, then go write your own fucking book, because you're not in mine anymore. You got yeah, that is kind of it. Peak. Relationships are tough. When I was doing a bit of research for this video, I came across something that I really liked, so I'm going to read that as well. A huge part of borderline personality disorder is interpersonal hypersensitivity, which is a technical way of saying that BPD patients have trouble being in healthy, secure and mutually beneficial relationships with others. We essentially have intense needs for closeness and attention, but at the same time also possess equally intense fears of rejection and abandonment. You see why this gets a bit complicated. I've been going to this group I mentioned earlier at my centre for about 11 weeks now. It's called STEPS, which stands for Systems Training for Emotional Predictability and Problem Solving. Apparently. It's American, I think they said. Systems training for emotional predictability and problem solving. That just sounds like I'm a train. Anyway, yeah, right. Systems training for emotional predictability and problem solving. That's what I've been going to. So, STEPS group, something we learned quite early on in it was about filters. It is what you'd think. It's how you see the world. I'm going to just quickly consult my group. It's quite a hefty old... This is all the work that we do. I want to read what they say about filters. So, a filter is an extremely stable and enduring pattern of thinking that develops during childhood and is elaborated throughout an individual's life. We view the world through filters. When we use filters, it is like looking at the world through different coloured glasses. For example, if you felt unloved as a child, you might see yourself as unlovable. This would be the filter of emotional deprivation. So, filters are ideas, not necessarily truth, but they can be destructive. Our important beliefs about oneself and the world are activated or triggered by events. Once activated, control our thoughts, emotions and behaviours. Dangerous. initiate extreme intense emotions, thoughts and often destructive behaviours. And it just says at the bottom, filters are maintained through distorted thoughts and self-defeating behavioural patterns. Therapy involves identifying and challenging these distortions and identifying and changing self-defeating behaviours. That's that on filters. I quite liked learning about filters because it made sense. It's a good way of realising what happened in your past, and that's why you treat things the way you do when you're older. Everyone has filters, basically. Even if you don't have BPD, everyone has filters. Everyone sees the world in a way. Everyone has their own perceptions, blah, 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 blah. But I'm going to just list off all of the filters that I'm aware of, that we've been told. So, we have got entitlement, abandonment, emotional deprivation, mistrust, subjugation, vulnerability to harm, self-sacrifice, failure to achieve, unrelenting standards, defectiveness. Is that all of them? Yes, 10. When we first started steps, we did like this test. I think it was like a number thing where you marked like 1 to 5 of how much it affects you, kind of thing. And then at the end of it, you get a score of 1 to 10. What's your top ones? So I just thought I'd say my top 3. Self-sacrifice, abandonment, and entitlement. Now, I will note that I think they said that they can change depending on where you're at in life, kind of thing. I'm not going to explain what the filters are because, again, I'd like to do that in its own thing because I am talking for days now. Just take what you want from those 3 things for now. Let's just come back now so everyone can understand what I'm saying. What do I struggle with? The biggest things I would say I've struggled with, still do, but a lot more manageable now. Bad mood swings several times a day. This one I feel like is quite a big one for me. It's rapid changes in the way I see others and myself. I can go from feeling like a piece of poo on the floor and everyone's just trampling over me and I've got no power or strength or anything or even capability of speaking. I feel so anxious or unconfident. And then I can, half hour later, think, I feel like I'm a dog's bollocks. Oh dear. And that's sort of similarly how I might go from viewing other people. I'm not talking about anyone in particular because it happens pretty much with everyone. Anyone and everyone who's in my life. One minute I'll be like, oh my god, like, always want to see them, best mate, great family member, that's a rare one, but next minute I don't want to see you at all. Why would I? And it's really weird because with certain people in my life it's a lot more intense. To the point where I get very confused whether I dislike them because they've done something or I dislike them because I had this fleeting thought months ago and then I believed it. It's like the whole thought distortion, and I sometimes get stuck in a spiral kind of thing of questioning myself and really getting confused of why I feel a certain way towards someone. I don't know if I should believe the way I feel because there's a reason I feel that way, or if my brain was just like, no, you don't like them today, and then I forget and I just get swept along and then that's it, but I don't like you. I get confused. So then that kind of then leads on to not losing touch with reality. I've been there, done that, sorry. But I get really quite confused with that. Anxiety can rise and then I will dissociate or depersonalise. You know, I've got quite good at bringing myself back out of that. But I remember back when I was in like year 8, year 9, 12, 13, 14 I'd say, I would get stuck in it for days. Now it can be probably tops an hour until I'm like, come on. And like I say, that's kind of caused by anxiety a lot. If there's not anything kind of provoking my anxiety, I won't get those symptoms as much. Then you've got unstable relationships, impulsive behaviours, and paranoia. And like I said, the anxiety, and we can add depression on there because I've had my fair share of that, but at times them two are a lot more present than other times, but I just feel like they're more of a knock-on effect of the other symptoms, you know, so they're more of the result of the bigger problems. So yeah, I was misdiagnosed with anxiety and depression for a few years and then on the wrong medication. I've been on the meds I am now for 15 months, and I would say in the last 6 months I've really felt settled. That might not be down to meds finally working out. I'm sure it's a combination of things, since really putting in the work mentally and physically. And holy moly, I want to rave about exercise in the gym. So that is kind of the gist of things. I just wanted to get this video out there as this is what it is, now what can we do to help it? And that's what I'm really keen to share now. So that is the purpose of this video. I mean, if it helps anyone, or anyone can relate, or if anyone understands me better, then that's cool as well. You know, I don't want to dwell too much on the illness, and I more just wanna, this is an illness, let's do this to help. That's a little bit more, I mean, no, sorry, I was gonna say that's more productive, but it's very important to understand it. I've had a lot of time to be angry towards the illness, but that, holding that much resentment towards something that is just a part of you, it's just not productive. And I find now, to be fair, even though I've had really, really hard times with it, it almost in a way makes me stronger. I don't want to glamorise this at all, because if I could just not have it, beautiful, sunny days. But I feel like I've got quite a good, because of it, understanding on emotions and people and the way things in your early childhood can affect. You get the gist. Like, I'm not gonna hate on it no more. That's what I'm trying to say. Because it doesn't help. If you've got something, educate yourself in it and accept it. Because that is the only way you're gonna move forward with it. I'm quite, like, harsh on myself. I'm, like, not harsh in, like, a mean way, but, like, I'm tough on myself. If I start going that backwards again, it's like, no. I think that's all I want to say for today. Thank you for watching. If you have made it this far, and yeah, I will see you in the next one, hopefully. We love this line that just doesn't really roll off the tongue. But yes, I'll see you in the next one, hopefully.